Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. My United States Senator is perhaps the worst in the history of the U.S. Senate, Harry Reid. He's certainly the worst senator of my lifetime, the past 53 years. Amazingly, Harry isn't just my senator, he's my neighbor. Harry and I live only a couple of blocks apart in Henderson, Nevada, inside beautiful Anthem Country Club. Can you imagine? We should do a reality TV show together called The Odd Couple. Harry Reid, the enabler for the Marxist agenda of the worst president in U.S. history, living only a stone's throw from the capitalist evangelist and ultimate Tea Party warrior, Wayne Allyn Root. What a pair of neighbors, 1 in a million. From my second-story deck, I'm looking right at Harry's home. I'm just a stone's throw away. And believe me, there are times I've thought of throwing that stone. Just kidding. Besides, Harry's doing a good enough job of hurting himself. A while back, Harry fell while jogging. Just a few weeks ago, Harry hurt himself lifting weights. Harry's so feeble and such decline, I actually feel sorry for him. I wish him a wonderful retirement. It's clearly time for golf, grandchildren, and cruises to Mexico. But one thing is for sure, Harry Reid cannot continue as one of the leaders of the United States Senate and one of the most important and powerful men in the free world. This is getting embarrassing. Poor Harry has clearly reached well beyond his past due date as a U.S. Senator. If Harry were an airline pilot, he would have been forced to retire a decade ago, long before he started falling down and hurting himself. If he was a CEO, his board of directors would have forcibly retired him years ago. If he were a typical government employee, he'd have retired to a life of leisure at age 50, and that was almost 3 decades ago. So why is Harry Reid allowed to stay in the U.S. Senate seat until the day he dies? Will Harry be allowed to serve in the Senate while he's pushed to a seat in a wheelchair and spoon-fed by a nurse? At what age is enough enough? Shouldn't a world leader be held to the same standards as a pilot? That pilot has to retire at the age of 65 even if he's in perfect mental and physical shape. Why? Because after age 65, people start to fail. Bad things happen. You can't let a pilot decide for himself when it's time to go. For the good of society, that decision is made for the pilot at a specific age. We can't have elderly pilots flying planes with 200 or 300 souls on board when they suffer a stroke, a seizure, a heart attack, or fall down and can't get up. So why would we want a U.S. Senator whose actions affect our economy, jobs, taxes, and health care still making important decisions long after their past due date? Is Harry Reid capable of making competent decisions at this point? We know for a fact Harry has suffered strokes while in office. He fell down jogging and got a nasty black eye not long ago. Then weeks ago, Harry had a far more serious episode. The claim is that he was badly hurt while exercising. He claims to have been using a band-based weight machine when the band snapped, hitting him in the face and knocking him unconscious with severe injuries. He had broken ribs, a severe concussion, and terrible eye injuries that threatened the loss of his sight from exercise. Now, I'm a fitness enthusiast. I understand exercise very well. I work out 2 hours a day. It's been the foundation of my life for 38 years. In all of those years, I've never heard of someone getting a black eye from jogging. In all those years, I've also never heard of a serious injury from using an amateurish, cheap band weight machine. To make matters worse and more strange, Harry Reid's staff further disclosed his injury occurred in the bathroom of his home. That's what they said, his bathroom. Do you know anyone who lifts weights in the bathroom? The story is just too strange to believe. But either way, this is clearly not a man capable of doing the most important job in our country. Here's a man who has done great damage to our economy and our country as the U.S. Senate Majority Leader. Based on policy, he was the chief enabler and water carrier for the massive expansion of government, spending, taxes, regulation, and debt under Obama. Harry Reid enabled Obama to depress the private sector with the most regulations in history, killing millions of jobs, suffocating the middle class, destroying the greatest healthcare system in the world, making the coal industry extinct, blocking the Keystone Pipeline, thereby dramatically raising all of our electric bills, giving amnesty to illegal aliens, and allowing Obama to violate the U.S. Constitution again and again. The list goes on and on. That was just a short version of the list. Harry achieved all of this while purposely preventing the U.S. Senate from voting on any bill that might help the economy or undo the damage of Obama's socialist nanny state policies. Harry refused to allow bills to be voted on for fear of hurting the re-election campaigns of his fellow Democratic senators. He even presided over the nuclear option that he swore he'd never allow to pass, for the first time in history, allowing bills and appointments to pass the Senate with merely a simple majority. Term limits would have forced Reid out of the Senate before any of this damage could have happened. What a blessing that would have been for America and the U.S. economy. Now add in Reid's declining health and competency and fading ability to take care of himself, let alone the country, and you have a clear recipe for disaster. Harry Reid is the poster child for term limits. From now on, I'd suggest the Harry Reid rule. All politicians should be limited to 2 terms, 1 term in office and 1 term in prison. I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. See you next week. God bless America.